Do you remember the listener that we had, Rhenda? Rhenda, who Labor of Love.
Yeah.
She was on the program. Can you?
In fact, wasn't she the founder or one of the founders of Labor of Love?
No.
Oh,
but she was she was an early member.
All right.
Of the. I think she's. I don't know. I think she's just one of the early members that has been really instrumental, and she's been on this program before. Because she's just this super do-gooder that has done so much and so amazing with her life. Here's a clip from when she was on with us. Rhenda, tell me about it. You were 3 weeks?
3 weeks. I think that God wanted me to go on that trip to Israel. I was afraid of flying. I went totally by myself, and I wasn't...
3 weeks after your husband?
Not Israel. My husband was alive when I went to Israel.
Okay.
And but... we had planned, and I had planned to go to Joplin with all my friends, and then 3 weeks before Joplin, my husband died of a sudden heart attack. And
how long were you two married?
16 years. Everybody thought I would just fall to pieces because we were so incredibly close, but we had made vows to help each other get closer to God when we got married, and we did. We did that, and the minute I saw him, because I found him, was that how much I was going to miss him. And I had my daughter-in-law call Susan and say that I couldn't come to Joplin, but as it turned out, I was able to go because I couldn't just sit by myself and feel sorry for myself. And the thing about it, I tell everybody that God knew I needed this group before I could ever even have imagined that I would need them. And the day that I got to talk to Pat, both of us had lost incredibly. She had lost her whole house, and I had lost, my husband. And Pat, when we sat there, and we just sat and were able to talk, and she reminded me of my mother, who passed away when I was 18 years old. And she was an incredibly soft person to talk to, and we connected, and it healed both of us. Just like Agios, and how incredibly sad he was at the beginning of your book. And all of us are incredibly hurt like that.
We're all
at some
broken.
time. Yes, we are. But that has helped me heal.
Rhenda is a woman that was standing on the mall with many of us on 8/28. She was a face in the crowd, and I didn't know her. And then we met briefly in Israel the next year when she was part of the crowd on 8/28, and she was part of Red Basset. And Joplin happened, and I think you're right, Pat, that she was one of the co-founders. She went to Joplin. This is 3 weeks after her husband died. She went to Joplin to help, and because she was listening, and she thought, I can't just sit here and feel sorry for myself. She went to Restoring Love and was deep in the volunteers with Labor of Love. And she went to Restoring Love, or Restoring Unity in Birmingham, and marched with us. A remarkable, remarkable woman, and one that time is kind of forgetting. A woman who would make pie in her Dutch oven over the fire and would quilt. I mean, like artwork quilting. A sweet, dear woman who could make you laugh until you cried. Who never tried to point herself out as perfect, was always really, truly, truly humble and kind, and was looking to help others. She's been battling cancer for quite some time and lost her battle over the weekend. And she has left a huge gaping hole in our audience. There have been 2 listeners that we have lost in the last 3 years that have impacted each of us. One of them actually moved down here to Dallas with us. And we would see him once in a while, but he, just in his spirit, when we would see him, he was the happiest man we'd ever Matt. He was a guy who was homeless up north.
Mm-hmm.
And Rhenda, who, when we first met, was, in a strange way, timid, never been anywhere, like on an international flight all by herself, but full of courage. And we watched her blossom and become a true leader of many, many people, anybody who crossed her path. We will miss you, Rhenda. God bless. Our sponsor this half hour is Simply Safe. When you're at home,